but that's about as far as I've gone yet.
One day.
Get
your Gandhis on and go on a little holiday.
Speaking about Gandhis, now you've printed out this leaflet as well that Banu was showing the viewers earlier, and when it comes to this cause that you've championed, which is Orphans for Orphans, how does that work out when it comes to the support that you're getting from other survivors as well, and other people who have gone through similar tragedies in their lives?
Well, we noticed since what we've been doing, if you went on our Facebook wall, you'll see kind of the comments that we get. I think coming back here is opening up to a lot more people from the tsunami, but we've explained kind of since we've had some of the media we've had all sorts of people contact and say, we saw you at Colombo Airport, you were 4 young kids, we wondered what happened to you, how'd you get home? Okay. We had a guy contact us,
a surfer as well,
a surfer that got my little sister down out of a palm tree. Like, we've had some like people all around the world, not just that knew us or saw us on our travels, but people as well that were, you know, involved, and not just that, people you know, if you look at what's going on in the Philippines at the moment, lots of other situations, there's lots of people where, you know, they're saying that they're looking at what we've done and kind of where we are now, where they're taking some inspiration from it, just on, you know, in terms of how, you know, we've managed to, you know, try and turn our lives around.
Been able to, and been in the process also been able to inspire so many other people to really recover from whatever tragedies they've been going through as well, which is the great thing. But
yes,
Banu?
yeah, exactly. Guys, next year is going to be a big year, the 10th anniversary, and you're not doing a huge project, I assume. You want to get it out of your mouths.
Yeah.
We're going to be, go ahead.
So yeah, for the 10th year anniversary, we set ourselves the target of opening our own children's home in memory of our parents, but also kind of as a tribute to kind of everyone else as well, to kind of show that 10 years later, you know, there is some light at the end of the tunnel, sort of thing.
And eventually over the next sort of 10-15 years, as a company, you want to have children's homes and projects going on all around the world, helping young people, inspiring them and giving them education.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see.
That's the vision.
And you've had support from the host countries as well when it comes to initiating these projects, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So what are the challenges maybe that you had to face when it comes to that, and also all the positives?
Well, there's
challenges first.
There's constantly challenges.
Yeah.
You know, in the UK, we started with an idea, and we've had to, you know, take this idea and get it to where it is now, which people are looking at it now and going, oh, it's fantastic and it's great, you've got all these world celebrities and media and people behind you, but when we had the idea, people were kind of like, it won't work, or just give up now, or kind of, you know,
even family and very close friends
kind of were just like
we're laughing
just
like,
because they love you and they
don't want you to go and embarrass you know, or they don't want you know, just keep doing what you're doing, it's safe, you know, it's kind of, there's no risk, or you're, you know, it's, you know, just keep doing that. And we just kind of just shut off from everyone and just said, no, let's go do it. And you know, there's been all sorts of challenges just learning how to, you know, create the product, develop it, logistics, delivering into retailers, you know, just marketing, there's been all sorts, design.
So collaborative efforts between a lot of people who've come around to support you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So we'll be speaking about some of the positives as well right after the break, Banu, besides playing cricket on the beach.
Yeah. And we do have a friend coming up as well who's been in their lives throughout, through happiness and sadness both, and right now of course happiness, you know, we're learning so much. So we're taking a break, and do not forget to like us on our Facebook fan page as well. It's www.facebook.com/goodmorningsrilanka. Click a like and join it, and of course we'll be sharing this particular YouTube clip as well on this show, so stay tuned, we'll be right back after that.
Good morning, Sri Lanka. Welcome back to the show. We had earlier on the first segment, we had Paul and Rob Falcon, who have started up the Gandhis Foundation, and it's a charitable organization which raises money and funds for various projects around the world through the sale of flip-flops, which are near and dear to us here in Sri Lanka as well, and which is why I have now traded in my usual shoes and thrown them out of the studio somewhere, and I'm in a pair of Gandhis,
straight
which
out
you
of
will
the
see
window.
sometime during the show.
Straight out of the window, and she's invested in some flip-flops. You look pretty with that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I know, lime green is my color.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul, for the flip-flops. But with us on the show now, Rob's still there, and we also have with us Dominic List, who is the chairman of the Gandhi's Foundation. Morning, Dominic. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so let's talk about your involvement. How did you get involved in Gandhi's?
So I got involved with Gandhi's about 18 months ago. These guys had a runaway success with the flip-flops and had started to do great things, but they saw that the business had a real sort of global potential, and they wanted to get someone on board to help them to realise that dream that they had, and then also to work in parallel with the new idea of Gandhi's Foundation, where we could sort of have the flip-flop business and also the sort of global charity that went with that as well. And they saw me amongst a few other business people in sort of quite an interesting format, and from that
the story of how you all linked up, we would like to share that. How you all linked up?
Yeah, so there's a TV program in England called Secret Millionaire, and basically on it there's successful business people who are very big into charity, basically. So and I'd been on that TV program. These guys obviously wanted someone who sort of shared their passion for business, but also for charity, which is obviously a very big driver for these guys, clearly. And so what they did was they lined up a sort of a format which they called the Brothers' Den, in which they sort of casually sat there as these guys in flip-flops and brought in other business people like myself and sort of really...
Did you come there in suit and tie?
I came there suited and tied.
Okay.
And yeah,
not anymore.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yes. No?
Yeah, we don't let him.
I came there in this sort of classic English suit and all very smart and all that kind of stuff, and these guys sort of, and we met up in this quite funky London bar, which looks a bit like a kind of bar you would have in Sri Lanka, so it was kind of like a really cool beach hut type of thing as well. So again, really sort of throwing me out of my usual environment of dealing in big boardrooms, and the guys just basically sort of grilled me, and said, well, we want someone to work with us, we're really passionate, and you need to be passionate too, and you prove it to me, kind of thing, so they really sort of, I mean, they're obviously lovely guys, but they really sort of made me work hard, so yeah.
So the hard work you've done in the past 18 months, I'm sure, have paid off as well, and there's still more to do. But let's talk about what you've implemented so far in terms of the charitable causes that you've initiated.
Yeah, so I think these guys are clearly extremely busy. They do lots of these type of appearances. They've got they're working a lot directly in the causes themselves. They're very the creative engine behind the business, and the designs and things like that. So. And then I sort of sit behind that, and sort of I run a lot of the boring business stuff, if you like. So I sort of run the operational side and sort of help.
But that's no less important, right?
Got to be done.
You do come up with the strategies as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we sit down, and really these guys use me as a sounding board. Drawing upon my experience and when with so much opportunity in front of you, it's often difficult to know which opportunity to follow and where to put your energy. Do we put it all over here but lose that opportunity, or how do we get the mix? So I can sort of help guide them around that as well.
Okay, Rob. Now you don't have any university qualifications as per se. So when you are hiring people to your organization, what sort of qualifications do you look at? Do you look at degrees? Do you look at masters, MBAs?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
It's a mix, to be honest. It comes down to the individual. We've got people that were actually at uni and they've not gone back because they said they learnt more in the last year working with us.
Okay.
And they've done things that have appeared all across the country in all the big retailers. It might be design work, or it might be graphics. We've had other people that are doing collaborations and doing big projects with like Richard Branson or something like that, where they had no experience of doing that before. So we've got a complete mix of people where they have been to university. We've got other people that haven't, but it really depends on the individual. If they're like-minded, like ourselves, where they're, and Dominic, they have an entrepreneurial mindset, but they're also passionate about the social aspects. So if they've got that kind of character towards them, and they're kind of, they're fun and like-minded, then
you're hired.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they wear flip-flops.
I guess
which he didn't have at first.
He didn't.
But he didn't.
Yeah,
but he got used to it.
Absolutely.
So flexibility is a key, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from my perspective, what I saw in these guys was what you would look for any good employee, you know, which is you know, you want the fire, you want the fire in the belly, you want the passion, you want the drive, you want the feeling that you know they want to be the very best they can be in whatever that is, you know. And these guys have got this by the bucket load, you know. So and that's the kind of characteristics that we look for as well, you know. So. But obviously not everyone can be an entrepreneur, but you can be the entrepreneur, you can be that driven but still work for the greater team of the company as well.
Given to future entrepreneurs, what sort of advice would like to give as young entrepreneurs in the world right now? Because that risk is not the usual type of risk that many people try to take in the world. No matter how many MBAs, no matter how many doctorates you have, it's a huge risk that you really don't want to take. You really don't want to jump into that deep end. What sort of advice that you would like to give out to all those people who would like to take that?
Well, from me, I'd say, what have you got to lose? So if you go and do it, you then go back to work if it doesn't work. But you need to have the passion, believe in what you're doing, and no matter what rejections, objections you get, just work around them and keep going. And if you keep going, you'll eventually get to what you're trying to get to.
And also a clear-cut vision, I would say.
Yeah.
You have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, you know, a lot of it is just purely about absolutely putting everything into it. You know, I believe that you will always be successful in your life, but you've got to put the time into it. And I think a lot of people get drawn into the idea of running their own business or doing their own thing, but don't realise that it consumes your life, at least for the early years. Well, when you need to get it off the ground, you need to be thinking it and breathing it every day. You know, and that's the thing. So absolutely go for it. You know, follow your dream, follow your passion, and you've got to have the passion, but be prepared to put the hours in too.
And that's what the individuals behind the Gandhi's Foundation have been doing. All right, Rob, you're going to remain with us for the next segment as well, but thank you, Dominic, so much for being with us in this segment and for sharing your thoughts on what the causes that you've been a part of, and we wish you all the best as well in the coming years. But after the break, we also have a photojournalist who is another friend of Rob and Paul's, and this particular individual has been documenting your entire journey, and from the start to the finish, and right up to now. The finish is yet to come, of course. But
long way to go for that.
So we have a lot more stored up for you here on Good Morning Sri Lanka. Do stay tuned with us.